All righty. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday the 13th. Hopefully nothing spooky is going to happen to hopefully nothing spooky is going to happen to everybody, but also hopefully nothing spooky is going to happen to anybody. So anyway, I am so glad you're here. I'm having a weird thing with my eyebrows today. Oh gosh. You know what? It's Friday. And it's Friday the 13th. And I need to know, good morning, Lucy from San Antonio. So a couple of things. Hopefully we do not have the technical issues that we had last week. Those of you who were with us live know that we lost the feed and I had to actually restart it, and then not everybody could find it. And so it was a bit of a mess. So I did do a bunch of technical things this morning to try and clean up space and make sure that that we're good to go. So cross fingers that we're good. Good morning, Lavon. Good morning, Lisa. So right. A couple of things before we dive into the exercises. And I am not going to talk as much this week as I have been lately. Joel says that was not the fridge, guys. How do you know? Okay. Well, anyway, so I'm not going to talk as much as I have been lately, because I've got 3 exercises that I really want to get through today because they're all connected and they're all important. And I want to make sure that you guys understand this concept and how they are all connected. So hopefully we're going to get through this, but I do want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, yesterday, somebody told me that contacting Intuit support is like walking through broken glass. And I think that's exactly right. So I was on this infuriating call with Intuit yesterday. Intuit chat. I don't like to do phone calls. I did a chat with Intuit yesterday. And the reason I did it was because I had to get the newsletter out. Those of you should be seeing a newsletter from us every Friday morning. And so it was Thursday and I was like, why is it? Yesterday was October 12th. October 12th. And we have still not received any official communication from Intuit about the shutdown, like about the fact that the fact that all of the courses are changing, or all of the tests are changing in the beginning of November. Okay. So every year they send us an email and there's a little pop-up in the dashboard that says, don't lose your work. There's going to be a new certification test. You're going to lose your progress. So if you have started to take, if you've taken section 1 and haven't finished section 2, you need to know that, right? If you're going to lose everything, that's the way it always worked. For some reason this year, silence from Intuit. And I finally couldn't stand it. And so I reached out to them yesterday to say, like, what the heck? And as usual, the chat support person was almost zero help. And they finally were able to confirm for me, so I did get confirmation that there will be a new test coming in early November. And they said that we will get 48 hours notice prior to the new test being released. That makes zero sense to me. 48 hours notice? Like you're in the middle of your training and you're going to get 48 hours notice, but that's 48 hours notice before the new test is released. That's what they said. They would not confirm or say anything about the current training and certification materials. So I don't know what to tell you guys. If you are in the middle of getting any of your certifications, just finish it now. Finish it now before October 31st, just to be safe. Because I don't know what's going on with Intuit, but I can be relatively certain that you will at least be good until October 31st. If you are in any of our courses, you have plenty of time. Plenty of time. Basic takes about 5 hours to get through, not including the test time. Advanced takes about 8 hours to get through. Payroll takes about 3 hours to get through. So you still have plenty of time before October 31st. Don't stress about it, but do get it done. Okay, the next thing is Monday is October 16th, and that is our last wish granting day of the season. Okay, so season ends October 31st. So it is the last wish granting day. So make sure that you get your wishes in. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to share my screen and talk about that. So make sure you get your wishes in. And on Monday, we're going to do Mindset Monday and the wish granting at the same time. And it's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern time. So that's late for a Mindset Monday, but I know that a lot of people can't come during the day, and I wanted to be able to set a time. So that's the plan. Okay. All right. Look, we're only 10 minutes in, and now I get to start my introduction. Hi, I'm Margie Remmers-Davis, creator of the Fast and Easy Way to QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor certification, and welcome to our weekly live stream that we have inside of our Facebook group, the QBO Gym Locker Room, every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Inside the locker room, you have access to nearly 100 free exercises to get hands-on practice in QuickBooks, using QuickBooks Online, and I will show you how to access those. If you are on this call live, then you already know. But if you're watching the recording, the link below will be, you'll have the link below so you can see how to get access to the locker room, get access to all these free exercises, our weekly live stream. We haven't done any votes right now, but we will probably pick those up sometime next year. Anyway, so this is the QBO Gym Locker Room. It looks slightly different to me on my screen because I'm an admin, but you should be able to get the gist. And if you scroll down to the, oh, look, they moved the featured posts. It looks like you have to click featured now to get to, at least I do on my screen, to get to the featured posts. So why am I not seeing the featured posts, guys? Okay, this is really interesting. I love it when, I'm on, here, community home. Let me go there. I love it when I am just, live and all sorts of things happen. So, and I don't know why this is saying it's an unread announcement, but anyway. Well, that's fascinating. Let me go to featured posts and see, because we have pinned several things. This pin is a YouTube video that I did for the last wish granting day that we had on September 6th. So this is a snippet from our last wish granting day, and where I talked about different kinds of people. So that's that. And then here is the post. Okay, so this one says Make a Wish October. This talks about you have to, if you're making a wish, you have to post on this. You have to post by October 15th, so that's Sunday, so that on Monday, that's when we're going to look at everybody's posts and we're going to decide how we can help you. If you've already posted something, you can edit it because there's no... we're not looking at them really until Monday. So you're welcome to change up what you've done. Okay. So make a wish. And then this is another post. Why is my welcome post not, this is so weird, guys. So this is the post where you get the link. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to pull up the group on my, I'm going to pull up the group on my phone and see if it looks different. Okay, this is the group. Yeah, on my phone, it's at the top. Here, hold on. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Okay. I don't know if you can see. So all the featured posts are here and you just slide in between them. Why can't I? So here, and here's the post we're looking for that has the exercises. So I don't know why it looks different. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay. And so right here, there's a link to this spreadsheet. And this spreadsheet, we've been getting a lot of questions about this lately. So I don't know why. Okay. So maybe that's why we're suddenly getting questions about it, is because the featured posts aren't there all of a sudden. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. But here's the spreadsheet. And it has links to all of the exercises. These are all of the exercises that we give away for free. And there's different tabs, so make sure that you go through all of the different tabs. I'm not going to go through it today because I really want to get into these exercises that we're doing today, which come from the QBO Gym. So the QBO Gym is our subscription product. Every month you get a packet of exercises that simulate life as a bookkeeper. So you actually work with Craig, our fictitious business owner in the sample company, as if you were his bookkeeper, and you sit down and you process the money that has come in, you send out invoices. Every month there is a deep dive topic of the month that we call our strength training. And then you also reconcile accounts and run reports. Okay, so let me share my screen again. All right, we do not, so this is what the QBO Gym looks like. So you can see inside here is October, 4 different sections, okay? And we don't give these exercises away for free. You have to subscribe, but you can get a 7-day free trial. And we don't give them away for free. Lucy says the gym is awesome. Thank you. But we do give them away if we do them on the live stream, which we're doing more and more of because I want to do the marketing prompts. And that's another feature of the gym. And so that's why I want to, at the end of every live stream, give you something that you can use to then share the knowledge that you have learned and become, position yourself as an expert to potential clients. Okay. So today we are going to work through some of the exercises about sales tax. This comes from the October 2023 issue of the gym. So I'm just going to click strength training right here. Okay. And so every issue of the gym has 4 sections, and each section starts with a little animated video that tells you what's going on in Craig's world. Then there is a little quiz, just a little 3-question quiz for you to test yourself, test your own knowledge about like, oh, how much do you know already? And then you're going to dive into the actual exercises, okay? And so what we're going to do is we are going to do these first 3 exercises. I'm hoping we can get through them all because it's okay, here's why I'm doing it. I'm going to take off, I'm going to take this off again. Okay, here's why I want to focus on these exercises today. Number 1 is because this is for those of you studying for the certification exams, and I can't remember now. It's covered in both basic and advanced, but I can't remember which exam covers this concept that people get confused about. And that is, I want you need to understand the 3 things that affect the sales tax on any given transaction. Okay, so those 3 things, we're going to go over them just now, but those 3 things are the tax exempt status of the customer. Number 2, the location of the sale. Now, location varies by state, whether it's the location of the business or the location of the customer. So whether it's like being shipped. So it varies by location. And then the specific product or service that you're offering. So some jurisdictions have a special tax on, I don't know, whatever. If it's a computer service, then it's taxed. But if it's not, if it's any other service, like if it's a bookkeeping service, it's not taxed, right? So those kinds of rules are going to be different based on all of the jurisdictions, and QBO can know all of those things and use all of those things to calculate them. Okay, so understanding those three things and what affects sales tax is really important for those of you studying for the test, okay? The second reason that I wanted to show this, I specifically wanted to go over this, is because using sales tax in the sample company is a bit of a challenge. And the reason that it's a bit of a challenge is because the way that they created the sample company is they took an old desktop sample company and converted it to QuickBooks Online. And so there's all of this hangover stuff from the way that they were doing it in the old system that you have to wade through in the sample company. If you don't understand how that works, then it will be confusing to practice. I'm not talking about confusing like in real life. I'm talking about confusing in the actual sample company. Okay, so that's why I wanted to go over it today. So let's walk through this. And this is specific to the sample company. Okay, this is not necessarily going to be what you're going to do in real life. This is how to set it up in the sample company. Okay. So here's our scenario. Craig's accountant has told him that since he is selling some goods in addition to his design and landscaping services, he will have to charge sales tax on these items. Let's see how to set this up. Now, I want to make it clear, this word accountant, accountant, you, this bookkeeper, are not responsible for keeping on top of all of the laws and all of that stuff for your clients. That's the accountant's job. You just do what they tell you. Okay, so if they tell you, oh, it's time to set up sales tax, then you do this. Okay, so all right, so sales tax setup. So this is all about sales tax. I'm not going to take the time to read it. Most of you are probably in states that charge sales tax, so you don't need to worry about this. I don't need to. I don't need to go over what sales tax is, but I do want to point out this very important note right here. Okay, this entire lesson in in the QBO Gym, this whole thing about sales tax is for education purposes only, okay? Craig's business is in California, okay? But that doesn't mean if you're in California or you have clients in California, it doesn't mean that this is going to be the same at all for you or your clients, okay? So just what we're going through here is just for education, okay? And I don't know why this says run scene right there on my thing, but let's go. That is, what happens if I click it? I don't know what just happened. That's a picture. Oh, this is very strange. I don't know why it just says run scene right there, and I can't, if I click it, it just opens that picture. So I don't know what the deal is. Okay. So to use sales tax in the sample company properly, we will have to do some setup. This setup is not exactly the same as what you will see in a real client scenario. Remember, this is just for the sample company, okay? On the left nav bar, hover over taxes and click sales tax. Okay, so here is the sample company. Before I get started, in case you don't know this little trick, I'm going to duplicate this tab, okay? I'm in Google Chrome. Chrome allows you to do this. And the reason that I am doing this is because one time I was doing a live stream. Yeah, that run scene thing does not appear in the actual course. No, yeah, it's just because of the live stream. It's because it has something to do with my live stream thing here. Oh, look, it disappeared. Okay. And what was I saying? Okay, so you can duplicate a tab. And the reason I did this is because one time I was doing one of these live streams, I had all this stuff set up, and then I accidentally closed the sample company. And so I wanted to make sure that I have this extra copy right here of the sample company in case I accidentally mess up. All right. So here we are in the sample company. We're going to go to, on the left nav bar, hover over taxes and click sales tax. Okay, so we're going to go over taxes and select sales tax. Okay, step 2, click get started. Okay, the other thing you need to know is, is that it used to be that that you had to keep on top of and enter your own sales tax rates. Okay, it was like a manual setup. And I don't know when, it was before my time, at some point, Intuit created this new automated sales tax center where they now go in and they keep track of the rates for all of the different localities. And that's why it's saying your new and improved sales tax center. Okay, that's what it is. That's what it's referring to. So I have been in the newsletter. I have been hammering. You guys have got to listen to Hector and Alicia's podcast. Okay, so they started it's called the Unofficial QuickBooks Accountant Podcast with Hector Garcia and Alicia Katz-Pollock. Okay, those two powerhouses know more about QuickBooks Online than anybody. Okay, and desktop. They both come from the desktop world. Okay. And to listen to them, the two of them, talk to each other about all of the new stuff that's coming in QuickBooks Online, weird things that Intuit is doing, and their take on new features. And it is a treasure trove, guys. It is a treasure trove. And so you've got to subscribe to this podcast. You have to listen. I listen to it when I'm putting on my makeup, okay? Or, if I'm driving somewhere, because you don't have to be, they don't expect you to be in front of a computer and click around and look at things, okay? So on the most recent episode of their podcast, Hector talked about how much he hates the automated sales tax and how he doesn't trust it, and he actually will not work with clients who are on the automated sales tax system because he doesn't want to be responsible if Intuit makes a mistake. Now, Alicia said she doesn't have any clients. She only works with clients on the new automated process. So it's interesting to hear there are two different takes on this. But Intuit is forcing everybody onto the new automated sales tax platform. And so that's what we're teaching. That's what you need to know for the test. And that's what we're teaching today. Okay. Linda says, do they advise when they update sales tax tables? I don't know the answer to that question. Corey, I saw Corey is on. I cannot send a link to the podcast, Margaret, because I don't know how that works. I don't know anything, guys. All I know is QuickBooks Online. That's what I'd say. All I know is QuickBooks Online. Wherever podcasts are sold. I don't know. I go into my app on my phone that says podcasts and I search for it and there it is. I don't know the magic of podcast world. So it's, I don't know, Apple Podcasts. I don't know how it works. Okay. The name is the Unofficial QuickBooks Accountant Podcast. Okay. Somebody says, can you explain what the automated sales tax is? Yes, the automated sales tax is QuickBooks Online figuring out what all of the sales tax is, rather than you manually entering rates. You're going to see the difference when we go in now. When we actually work on the exercise, which is why we're here. Okay. All right. Let me move over to share my desktop again. Okay. So that's what this. Right. So we're going to get started. While that's loading, we're going to hop over here to our exercise. QBO will check to see if your business address is correct. This is the address that is stored in account and settings. Okay. So we're going to click next right here. And then steps 4 and 5. Okay, you may have noticed that some transactions in the sales company already have sales tax associated with them. Have you noticed that? Oh, Corey sent the link to the podcast. Thank you, Corey. Corey, do they notify you if the sales tax changes, or does it just happen automatically in QBO? Somebody asked that question. I don't know. Okay, so you may have noticed this when you're working in the sample company. It seems that there is sales tax on some things, right? And even though you have not set up sales tax, okay? So that's because, like I explained a minute ago, that the sample company is using an old company that came from desktop that's using the old way, okay? So when we do this now, what we're setting up is the new automated sales tax system. Okay, but in order to do that, it has to have a way to manage the sales tax that is already in the sample company. Okay, again, this is not necessarily what is going to happen for you in real life. What we're doing today is setting this up in the sample company so you can see how it works. Corey says she's never received a notification of the change. Okay. All right. So, all right. Even without us turning on the sales tax feature, these transactions used manually added custom rates rather than the automatically calculated rates QBO now supports. Okay. Because of this, you will need to match the sales tax from these old transactions to the correct agency. In a real life scenario, there's no matching involved unless they were manually calculating sales tax in a different system. You will just set up the agency. Okay, so we're going to match up these agencies and then we're going to click next. Okay, so here we're going. Okay, here are the different things. Again, don't get confused by this. We're just setting this up in the sample company. This is not this is not going to be necessarily what you're going to encounter. So don't get confused. Okay. California. It's Arizona Department of Revenue. Again, Arizona Department of Revenue. Okay, here we go. Phew. Next. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. So now what we've done, we've matched them. We matched it like this. We've clicked next. Step 6. Okay, so we're just going to save to confirm your rates. These were the previously used custom rates. So again, in the old system, you set up your own rates. Okay, and these were what somebody set up in the old system. Okay, so click save. Got my tropical smoothie again today. Okay. Step 7, click continue. Right here. Step 8. There's going to be all of this little training so that you understand, or that, potentially the client understands what's happening here. So we're just going to click continue there. We're going to click view sales tax, like after this little tour. Continue. View sales tax center. This is all just setup. Okay? All right. Next, you will need to set up your filing frequency for each agency. In a real-life scenario, you would be able to use the provided charts and documentation to guide your answers, or the accountant will tell you. Okay? But what we have to do is, for Arizona, we're going to choose quarterly. And then for California, we're going to choose monthly. And then we're going to click save. Okay? So we're Arizona here, quarterly. Next agency. For California, we're going to say monthly. See here, there's these things you've got. So in a real life scenario, you would follow, what it says here, or the document, or what the accountant tells you it should be. Okay. So now that we are in the sales tax center, let's take a look at what you are seeing here. Okay. So first is the agency liabilities. Okay. So let's take a look at the agencies. Okay. So there's tiles. You're familiar with this concept in, can you see that okay? All right. We've got this all the time. So here's the Arizona. And if I can click that to select California, or I could use the drop down to select, okay? So these are the two agencies that I just set up. With Arizona set up down here, okay, we set it up for quarterly. So you're going to see for each quarter what the status is, okay? And it's oldest first, okay? So this is the most recent one down here. It's still working on it. Right here, it says it's paid. Notice it says overdue. Even though it's 0, you always have to file, even if the answer is 0. Okay, and then here's California. So we set monthly, and so because of that, it's showing. And notice I forgot to mention, it will show the amount here, okay, in this tile for this is the current period. Okay, so here, each month, because we set it up for monthly, here's each month. All right, let's see, what else do I need to say about this? Use the tile, 1 row for each period. You can view the tax return. We'll do that in a second. You have some reports that you can run right here, just from that drop down. So you've got the tax liability report, taxable customer report, non-taxable transaction review. Okay, so you've got those 3. So you can do them right here from the Sales Tax Center without having to go to the reports. Okay, and then economic nexus. So if you are doing a certain amount of business in another state, then you may have to file taxes in that state. So for example, we've got both California and Arizona listed here in the sample company because QBO, or at least the last one, thought that there was economic nexus. Even though Craig's business is in California, he was apparently doing enough business in Arizona to require paying sales tax, collecting and paying sales tax there as well. Now, every state has different regulations on what economic nexus means. So again, the accountant knows this. The accountant knows this. You can click this button. I'm not going to do it now. You can click this button and you can see what QBO thinks is economic nexus, but it's not necessarily going to be what's actual for your client. Okay. We're going to go into sales tax settings later. What we're going to do right now is click view return. And I think, let's see which one. Does it matter which one I click? No, it doesn't. Okay. So I'm going to click, let's click one that has an amount of money. This one, $325. Can you see it? Okay. So we're going to click this one right here, view tax return. Okay, so here's the tax return. You'll see details about filing and paying the taxes. QBO will provide a detailed report and instructions. It's important to note that you cannot pay the taxes directly from QBO. Okay, so we can pay other bills directly from QBO, but we cannot pay sales tax directly from QBO. You have to go to the agency that you're paying and follow. They're going to have like their own portal or directions or whatever. So you're going to follow those directions. And then here what you're doing is you're just recording the fact that you did that. Okay, so that's what it means to record the payment. Okay, let me go back to our sales comp. Okay, so here, all these instructions. Here's the state's website because it knows when you selected it before. So however you're going to pay it, it says write a check to your agency or print one, or maybe they have, ACH or what's it called? EFTPS or like whatever those letters are. Okay. So you're going to pay it and then you're going to just record that you paid that. Okay. Now this right here is the custom rate that they set up. Okay. This is not the automatically calculated rate. This is old stuff. Okay, so we'll see that. If I can get through these exercises without talking so much, then we'll see that in a second. Okay, all right. And then the last thing is just to show you the sales tax settings. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to exit the view payment. We're back in the sales tax center. This is another thing that trips people up on the test, is that you cannot, from the sales, this is called the sales tax center, okay? You cannot actually change rates right here. You have to go into sales tax settings. So you go into sales tax settings, and up at the top are the agencies. These are the ones at the top here. These are the ones that are calculating automatic sales tax, okay? These here at the bottom are the custom rates that you set up. Now, in a real life scenario, the custom rates are not necessarily going to be these sales tax rates like California, like whatever. So they might be an accommodations tax or some occupancy tax if they are like, if you're have a property owner and they do like Airbnb stuff, they might have a special tax that they have to pay, that if you want QBO to record that, you have to put that custom rate in by yourself. That's not one that QBO will check automatically. Okay, so now that we have done our introduction to sales tax, let's move on and do some actual work here. Okay, so I'm going to close this exercise. I'm going to go back to strength training here in the gym. Okay, so this first one was setting up sales tax. Now we're going to practice setting up products and services. Remember I said, I'm going to go back. I'm going to take this off. Okay, remember I said in the beginning, there are 3 things that QBO looks at to determine sales tax. Those of you studying for the test, you have to know this. Number 1, it is the tax exempt status of the customer. Okay, so if the customer is 401, like whatever, then they are not charged sales tax. You are not responsible for collecting sales tax. Okay. Number 1, tax exempt status of the customer. Number 2 is the location of the sale. So that might be the location of the business. It might be the location of the customer. So if you like ship it somewhere, it might be both. Okay. And that is, you don't have to know you don't have to know that, right? You just have to know that that QBO is going to calculate it automatically based on the location. And then the third thing is the taxability of that product or service. So that might be special. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again and let's walk through this exercise talking about the products and services. Okay, so Craig's accountant has told him that since he is selling some goods in addition to his design and landscaping services, he will have to charge sales tax on these items. Sales tax is charged based on 3 things. What are the 3 things? I've said them several times now. The tax exempt status of the customer, the location of the sale and or location of the customer. The collecting agency determines which of these or both is used. And 3, the type of product or service being sold. In most jurisdictions, products sold are taxed, but services are not. Specific products sometimes have special tax rates. Luckily, you don't have to know all this because QBO can do it for you. Let's take a look at Craig's products and services list to see if it's set up correctly. And again, just a reminder that this is all for education purposes only. So anything we are talking about today, California rates or anything like that, is not necessarily accurate in California. Okay, so this is just education. All right, step 1, not step 2, we're going to go to products and services. And there's a bunch of ways to get there, but we're going to go gear icon to products and services. All right, step 2, we'll start by looking at the inventory products. They should be taxable. Click the filter icon, then under type, select inventory and click OK. Okay, so here's my products and services list. Here's my filter. We're going to look at all the inventory products and we're going to click apply. Okay. Step 3, the inventory products are all marked taxable. Craig does not have any non-inventory products, so let's check the service products. They should all be non-taxable. Okay, let me just point out. Okay, so here we are on the list. I'm only showing the inventory products, and in this column right here, they all say taxable. Okay, that's what it should be. And when I say should, I'm not talking about real life. I'm talking about the sample company, okay? In our fictitious scenario here, okay? So now we're going to change this to look at all the service products, okay? So that's what we did here. And then we're going to click step 4. The first thing we notice is that Craig has several products that are marked as services. These are marked as taxable, which is good. QBO is going to tax based on that setting, not the type, but they really shouldn't be services. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Okay, so we're going to go into the sample company right here. Okay, so now we're looking at all of the services, but look, concrete, lighting, rocks, these are not services. these are products. Sod, soil, these are not services, these are products. They should not be in the products and services list as services, okay? But when we're talking about the sales tax, QBO is only going to look at this little checkbox. It's not going to say, oh, this is a service, okay? Because some services are taxable. So in some jurisdictions, okay? So it's always going to go by this. It's not going to go by the fact that they are services. But still, they shouldn't be in here as services. Like, that's a thing that needs to be cleaned up, okay? So let's see. Let's clean this up and take a look at the tax settings while we do so. Okay, so we're in the far right of the concrete row. We're going to click Edit. Okay, so here's concrete. We're going to click Edit. Did it click? Is it just being slow? Okay, there we go. Okay, step 5. The first thing we will do is change the type. So we're going to click Change Type and then select Non-Inventory. So we're going to click Change Type, select Non-Inventory. Okay. And then step 6. Notice that under sales tax, it says taxable-standard rate will apply sales tax based on location only. This means that there is no special rate for this product. Okay, right here. Sales or taxable standard rate will apply sales tax based on location only. Okay, they say only, but actually they mean location and the tax exempt status of the customer. Okay, if the customer is tax exempt, that overrides everything. Okay, so let's just click Edit Sales Tax so we can see here how it works. Okay. All right, step 7. Here you can use the wizard to find the right sales tax category and rate for this product. Luckily, you'll only have to use this if Craig's accountant asks you to look for it. Another thing that's helpful is if you enter a product that sounds to QBO like it might fall into a special tax category, you'll get a prompt telling you that and suggesting the category. Finally, on this screen, you can indicate that a product or service is not taxable at all. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so here you can look, you can browse to find if you think that it belongs here. Otherwise, you can use this for other options, taxable or non-taxable. Okay, so this is that wizard where you can do all that stuff. Okay, since we're not going to change anything here, we're actually just going to hit back up here. Okay. All right, and then step 8. We're going to click Save and Close. The only thing we've done is we've changed this to a non-inventory product. It should be taxable at the standard rate, so we're good. We were just looking at it, so we're going to hit Save and Close. Okay, and then steps 9 and 10. Finally, let's change the remaining services that should be products to the correct type. We're going to check the boxes next to lighting, rocks, soil, and sod. Okay, so lighting, rocks. Gotta make sure my head's not in the way. Sod and soil. Okay, and once I've checked those, I'm going to select Batch Actions. Oh wait, let me use click Batch Actions and select Make Non-Inventory. Okay, Batch Actions, Make Non-Inventory. So that doesn't actually affect the sales tax, but it does just clean up our products and services list, so we're good to go. Okay. Note that they will disappear from the list because you still have the service type filter on. You can click Clear Filter if desired. Okay, so those things disappeared from the list. Okay, and I could clear the filter if I wanted to, and now I have all of my types here in the list. Okay, all right, now it's 12 o'clock, but we have to do one exercise where we actually are applying sales tax. So I hope you can stay with me. Okay, all right, so this exercise is done. Now we're going to go to our third and final exercise of the day, which is to click here to practice invoicing with sales tax. Okay. All right. Our scenario is Amy's Bird Sanctuary has ordered a rock fountain for their flamingo enclosure. Craig also previously did some custom design work, and he asked you to send her the invoice for everything together. Let's see how to do this and take a deeper dive into the sales tax while we're at it. Another reminder, education purpose only. None of the numbers that you see here are going to actually reflect real life in California. Okay? All right, so we're going to click plus new and select invoice. Plus new, invoice. Under customer, select Amy's Bird Sanctuary. Once Amy selected, the design work Craig previously did for her pops up in a drawer to the right. Click add to add this to the invoice. Oops, what happened here? There we go. Oh my gosh, sample company. Okay, customer, Amy. Amy's Bird Sanctuary. Come on, sample company. You tab out. Good grief. There we go. So we're going to add this. You could click add all, but there's only one, so either is fine. Okay, step 4. Notice that the design work is not marked as taxable. This is not because it's a service type. As we saw in the previous exercise, even services can be set up to be taxed. The reason it is not showing up as taxable here is that inside the details of the product or service, it was marked as non-taxable. Okay, so right here, no check mark. Okay, non-taxable. And that came from the product service. All right, notice that this okay. On the second line, enter product service, select rock fountain. Okay, so we're going to add rock fountain here. Now, rock fountain is marked as taxable. Okay, so it does have the check mark. And if I scroll down, so now when I scroll down, you'll see that sales tax has been applied right there. Okay, and you can click see them. You'll see how it was. So they're either going to use based on location, or that's the default, or you can select these are the 2 custom rates that we set up. Okay, so you could apply a custom rate, or you could say it's based on location, and you can actually see here how QBO calculated it. Okay, so we're going to go to step 5, scrolling down to the bottom of the invoice. Okay, I just talked about that, so see the math. Okay, so we're going to click see the math. This is another reason why some people get confused on the test. It is because you can't click the see the math unless you have gone through all of the setup for the automated sales tax like we did. Okay, if you are just if you're just in the sample company and you haven't set up sales tax, even though sales tax will appear, it's based on that custom rate, and therefore you can't click the see the math. Okay, All right, 3 sections. What have I been telling you? 3 sections. Okay, this customer is not tax exempt. Okay, and because of that, the tax rate is going to be based on location. Now you can edit it right here. You can actually mark the customer as tax exempt, and you can also change to a custom rate right here in that section. Okay. No, I don't want to leave without saving. Okay. Oh, cancel. That's what I wanted for that section. Okay. And then here's the location address. This is based. This is what QBO automatically calculated for you. Like, you don't have to know all these little details. We've never seen, up until now, we've never seen Contra Costa County. Okay, so we never, because QBO goes out and it knows all of this stuff and it calculates it for you. Okay, and then here is what's the third thing? The actual product. Okay, so it would list for you if we had multiple products. It would show you the list, and you can change it. Well, no, I'm sorry, you can't change it right here. You'd have to go into the product and services list, but it will tell you how it's calculated. Okay, now you can override what QBO is charging if you believe that it's different somehow. Okay, when you override, you can either charge a percent, or you can charge add a specific amount. Either way, you have to say why you're changing it. Okay. All right. That is all we have time to do for sales tax today. Okay. That was see the math. We talked about all of these different things. All right. So you can't, this is important. This is important. This is important for those of you guys studying for the test. Okay. If I go in and I select, remember up here, I could change this to a custom rate. If I change to a custom rate and click save, look what happens. Everything disappears. Everything disappears. If you are using a custom rate, it's only going to use that custom rate. The 3 things that I mentioned don't apply. They only apply when they're talking about the automated sales tax. Okay, so that's important. Let's see, what else? Let me go back to selecting as based, when I say based on location, that's the smart version. Okay, so now it goes based on location, and it has the other sections. Okay, yeah. All right. All right, so I went over all of that. Okay. All right, so this is all we're going to do for this exercise. Now, when you are in the QBO Gym, you have, after you have done all of your exercises for a particular section, you can see some sample marketing posts for to help you position yourself as an expert in QuickBooks Online. You will only see these posts once you have completed the section. Okay, so once you've completed this section, then you'll get the list of warm-ups. Once you've completed, okay, so here we are. These are the ones for the strength. Now, because you're on here live, Joel is giving you the marketing prompts because I want you to leave here today with armed with a way to talk about what you just learned today. Okay. The best way to learn something is to teach it to somebody else. Okay. So put it out there on LinkedIn or whatever that you learned, that you know this thing, and you can talk to them now about the 3, you can set up for product, for a specific product. Here's what we talked about today. So we're giving you 3 marketing prompts. Okay. One is about automatic sales tax. Joel has already put them in the chat if you need to grab them. Okay, it says, "Dear business owner, please tell me you're not using a fixed rate for sales tax. You know that QuickBooks Online knows all the rules and will automatically calculate and adjust, right? Right? Oh my goodness, let me show you." Okay, so that's a thing you could post on LinkedIn. The other thing we talked about is sales tax for products and services. So here is an option for that. Are you adjusting sales tax on every single invoice? Good heavens. Don't you know that you can program QuickBooks Online so that each product or service is already correct? I can save you so much time. Let's talk. Okay, so that's number 2 we've already put in there. And then the third one we talked about today was overriding sales tax. Yes, business owner, you can override the QuickBooks Online sales tax, but why do you need to? Let's have a serious talk. Okay, so those 3 things. Now, when I say posting on LinkedIn, there are many ways that you can do it, but I wanted to highlight 2 of our Fast and Easy QBO rock stars. Okay, we call them book stars because you are amazing. And I just am so thrilled to see what people are doing with these marketing prompts. Okay, remember that my friend Susie got a promotion. Woohoo. Remember that I'm not teaching you about marketing. I'm not a marketing person. I can't teach you about marketing, but I do know about QuickBooks Online, and I can help you talk about QuickBooks Online and position yourself as an expert. Okay, so 2 people from our team that are killing it is number 1, Sarah. Sarah Bridges. I don't think Sarah usually comes on the live stream, but Sarah Bridges takes the prompts and she puts them in I think Canva. Okay, so here's one from a different exercise. She says, "Hey business owners, please tell me you're not using business funds to pay for personal expenses," and then recording it in QuickBooks Online. Okay, too late, don't worry. I'll help you clean it up. Okay, and maybe prevent your accountant from killing you. This is one of our prompts. Okay, and so this is great. And then she created this fun picture that just kind of snapshots what her topic is. She forced me to click it, which is interaction, which means LinkedIn is going to like her better to be able to read the whole thing. And what I also love about hers is that they all have her website here down at the bottom. Okay, so kudos to Sarah. She's killing it. Another person who is killing it is Marceline. So Marceline is using so she does a similar thing. She's got a picture, I think, that she uses for Canva. She does say the nomadic bookkeeper down here, which is good. I like Sarah's a little better because it has the full website, but it's still good. But here's what Marceline does that's super cool, is that she takes that prompt and then she puts it in ChatGPT to write like a little article about that topic. So she's got a full-blown article that just was based off of, because we gave her the prompt. And when I say prompt, I'm not talking about a ChatGPT prompt. That's a little bit different terminology. I'm just talking about like the idea. We seeded, the idea for her about like what to talk about. And so she ended up with this full-blown article, again, made me click to open it up, and then, used an eye-catching graphic. Here's another one. Okay. Cash payment. This came from one of our others. So you click. Again, it forced me to click on it to open it up. And so just 2 of my students that are knocking it out of the park. You guys are rock. Corey, I see, posted keys to marketing. So I'm going to put this in because Corey is also knocking it out of the park. How do I do this? Okay, I click there. There we go. It's kind of in my face. Here we go. Oh, how can we read that? There we go. Corey says keys to marketing. Simple, catchy graphic. You have 1 to 2 seconds to capture the scroller's attention. 2, value-based post. 3, call to action. Click, DM, call, etc. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Corey. All right, guys, that's it. What time is it? I only went 15 minutes over today, but I did get a refrigerator delivered in the middle of the live stream. So anyway, you guys have a fabulous Friday and rest of your weekend. And I will see you Monday at, for those of you who missed it, Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to combine our Mindset Monday with our Grant a Wish Day. Okay, so that so it is going to be, and as soon as I'm done with this call, I'm going to post that in the group so that you can see it, and we are going to anyway, so it's going to be exciting. It's going to be, we've got so many exciting things happening, guys. So many exciting things happening around. Speaking of Corey, by the way, you guys know that we have teamed up with her to build a cleanup course. We're going to have a Fast and Easy QBO cleanup course coming in January, and you can sign up for the wait list. I don't know, Joel, if you have the link handy to put in, but it's www.fastandeasyqbo.com/cleanup, and you can join the wait list. Linda says, I cannot wait for that course. Me too. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so great for you guys. So great. So great. All right. If you are interested. Okay, good. Yep. Joel put it in the post, in the chat. All righty, guys. So you have a fantastic weekend. I will see you on Monday. I'm going to go check out my new fridge. All right. Bye.